the dog, is it?
Never you mind, Hilda.
You'd be a sight better off with a cup of tea and an aspirin.
I'd be a sight better off having a lie in the morning instead of running this flipping joint all on my own.
Good morning.
Morning, Mr. Walker.
Stock control, is it, Fred?
Yes, Mr. Walker. It was running a bit cloudy-like, you know.
Have you finished in the bathroom then, Mrs. Walker?
Yes, I have.
Only that's all that was holding me up.
I thought we were rather well advanced. I do hope that it is not a case of a job done quickly rather than well.
Oh, no, I think you'll find it's my usual standard. Only I've got rather a lot on today. Business commitments, mostly.
Really?
You're not still chasing that grotty little chippy that your Archie left you, are you?
Nobody's chasing out, Big Mouth. It's just a case of what's coming to me by rights.
I don't know why you're bothering him when you're Stanley. You'll eat all the profits. I can't think of anything worse than Stan Ogden in charge of a fish and chip shop.
They let you work in a pub, don't they? I'll go and do the bathroom now, Mrs. Walker.
Yes, dear. And I do hope that any little problems about your brother's estate are soon settled.
Oh, I think you'll find they'll be settled by this afternoon. Thank you.
Mrs. Walker, can you see them two running a fish and chip shop?
Well, my experience of fish and chip shops is somewhat limited, but I must say this. I do admire Mrs. Ogden's perennial optimism.
She gets on my nerves, if you ask me. Look at that time she went for that job at, what they call it?
Lowthers?
Yeah, you'd think it was the Taj Mahal. Now she'd let onto a chippy, you'd think it was Harry Ramsden's.
Exactly my point. She makes the most of what little life has offered her. And I should think that we could all learn something from that.
Well, it's like I said yesterday. Victor wants me to go and live with him. I suppose that's what it amounts to.
In Saddleworth?
In this cottage that he's buying. I mean, I suppose I had thought that, well, sooner or later something might happen between us,
But not that.
no. And the more I think about it, I mean, the less I know what to think, if you see what I mean.
Just about.
The idea of living with a man, it'll be such a change.
Well, it does have its differences than living with the budgie, I must admit.
I wish you'd never asked me, I do honestly.
But it's not just living with a man. Any man you've to think about, is it, Mavis? It's Victor. Living with Victor.
Oh, I mean, I do like him very much, and we get on very well together. I mean, that holiday we were...
Sort of living together.
Well, yes, but in a tent.
No, what I'm getting at is it the idea of living with Victor that's putting you off? Or the idea of living with anybody?
Well, I suppose it's the second, really. I mean, just the fact that we wouldn't be married.
A lot of people do it, though, don't they? I mean, that couple we delivered to in Maudsley Street, in with Moped. They're not married, don't care who know it. I mean, you can see the sense of it, really, can't you? Gives you a chance to get to know one another, find out if you're suited. Happen if there were more trial marriages, there'd be fewer divorces.
Yes, but don't you think, Rita?
What?
Well, you can't change the way that you are, can you?
Some folk do. One in paper yesterday changed his sex.
Oh, don't make it more complicated than it is.
I'm not suggesting you do.
No, but I mean, some people, the idea of a trial marriage don't worry them at all, but other people, it does.
And you're one that it does.
I wish I weren't, but I am. And there's no use pretending I'm not.
Is it what people will think? Is it that that's worrying you?
No, I think I could stand that. I mean, if I thought that it was the right thing, then I think I could stand that.
But you don't?
No. I don't know that I think it's the wrong thing either. I just don't know what to think.
Well, if you don't know, love.
Oh, I could be almost mad at Victor for asking me. I mean, for putting me in the position of having to make a decision like that. I could get really mad with him. I could honestly.
You doing any windows this afternoon?
Do you feel up to it?
Me?
What time is that left in those bins this morning?
7, why?
You don't want to overdo it, you know.
Oh, that's very considerate of you, Stanley.
Oh, that's all right.
But if it means what I think it means, that you're going to be resting all afternoon on my behalf, then just remember this. He who does the work gets the wages.
Oh, you're back then, are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's sandwiches for your dinner, 'cause I'm in a rush, on account of a call I've got to make at a certain fish and chip shop this dinner time.
Chips. I have had a few chips.
Stanley, there's not another chip setting foot in this house until this business is settled.
It's getting on top of her. No chips in this house.
Don't you think that was a bit tactless, Stanley?
Here, are you coming with me to sort this woman out, or what?
No, I promised to give Eddie a hand with the windows, you know.
Oh, well, I dare say you'll be more help to him than you would be to me.
So you're coming now, are you?
Well, I couldn't let you down, could I?
Bye-bye.
All right.
Yes, I'm meeting him at the class tonight, and then, well...
Oh, is this your boyfriend, is there?
Well, it's a gentleman friend, yes.
I won't be above an hour.
right.
John. Try, Vera.
Yes, Sir Arlo. Give us 20 tips and a box of them licorice all sorts. So you're meeting tonight, then?
Yes.
Is it serious? Or is it, you know, like here tonight, gone tomorrow morning sort of thing?
It does have its serious side to it, I suppose.
Well, I'd be careful before committing myself to it if I were you, Maeve. I mean, you've heck of a long time to regret it afterwards.
Was there anything else?
No.
Well, that's £1.30, please.
No, I mean, you might not be like me, but I often regret giving my freedom up like I did. Mind you, it was my own fault, you know. Oh, Archie, I could have been quite willing to live over at Brush. No, it was me. I said, now listen, get a ring on that finger first.
£1.30.
We're just having the one, right?
Right.
Right. 2 pints of bitter, Fred.
And what are you two bright sparks on this afternoon, eh? Bins, is it? Windows, fish and chips?
Windows.
Right, heck, it can't be bad. There's no wonder there's so many on the dole who've got more flipping jobs than Terry Wogan you have.
Who's he?
Hey, and I say, does that Sid Kippax, does he know that your Archie snuffed it?
I don't know, why?
When he knows your Hilda's got her hands on that chippy, might get a few debts paid off.
Look, there are no jets and there's no cause for you to stick your fat nose in neither.
Oh, yeah? What are you going to do, Yates? Throw a wet chamois at me?
Yeah, and it'll probably be still inside the bucket when I do.
Oh, give over, Yates. I'm sick of listening to him and his missus whinging behind that bar telling me that they haven't got any money. There must be coin in it, the pair of them.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, listen, if I hear you mention Sid Kippax once more, you'll be sick, mate. You'll be so sick they'll have to carry her out of here.
Gentlemen, please.
Do you want him out, Mrs. Walker?
That wouldn't be a good idea.
Yates.
Oh, no.
And you, Fred.
And me?
Yes. Now, I do not know what caused this unseemly hullabaloo, but it must cease immediately.
Stickney knows he won't got anything to turn him.
Oh, come off it, Oggy, will you?
Fred, I will finish serving here. I think you're wanted over there.
Yeah, you'll be safer over there and all.
Mr. Yates, another comment like that from you, and I shall have no choice but to ask you to leave these premises. Now, just 2 pints, was it?
He's very nice, isn't it? I mean, under any other circumstances...
You mean if you propose marriage?
I suppose I do, yes.
Well, I think that's the problem. I mean, she's no doubts about him, just...
The idea of a trial marriage.
I don't know what to advise her at best.
I doubt whether anyone can. I think it's something Mavis has to decide for herself.
Trouble is, I've had Len laying the law down. About Mavis. Says if she leaves the cabin flat, she leaves her job as well.
Oh, dear.
According to him, living on the premises is what the job's all about. Being there to do the early morning papers, stuff like that.
That had never even crossed my mind.
I don't think it had crossed hers either.
So, are you going to tell her?
I suppose I'll have to. She's in such a dither, though. I mean, that's the last thing she needs, isn't it?
We're closed.
Well, I want to come in.
Oh.
We've got a visitor.
Oh.
Now, I've come to sort this out once and for all.
I thought we'd already done that.
I've been to see my solicitor.
Your solicitor?
And he's told me what's what, so I've come to tell you. Now, I've put in for what's called a grant of administration. And then I have to take an oath saying that I'm Archie's only living relative, which is what I am, and that'll be that. As for you, you haven't got a leg to stand on. You're trespassing.
The number of times he said, didn't he?
Oh, aye.
I've really said you won't have to worry when I'm gone, because this shop will be yours. You heard him, didn't you?
Yeah.
Well, it's funny, I've never heard him mention anything of the sort.
Oh, well, it looks as though I've been too soft for my own good. I should have got him to write something down. But then I'm not like that, bothering about the legal side of things. I just take people at their word.
Oh, I'm very glad to hear it. Because you could just take me at my word. Now, if you're not out of this shop by next Monday, I shall get my solicitor to have you thrown out, so think on. This shop's mine by rights, and I've been done out of too many things in my life to make a present of it to you.
I'm not asking for any presents.
No, just as well, because you're not going to get any.
Can you hear her?
Now, I'm not stopping to row. My solicitor said I was to tell you the way things are, and that's what I've done. So just so you take notice.
Oh, you're very different from your Archie.
The main difference being that I'm here and he's not. And I shall be here next Monday to take charge of this place and all.
Looks like that's it then.
Not from where I'm standing, it doesn't.
Have you washed your hands?
They're not dirty.
Never mind, they're not dirty. Go and get them washed. Go on.
Oh dear.
What do you think of them?
Well, there's one here. Starts out complaining about next door's garden and ends up having to go at the world in general. Don't know how I'm going to put that one right.
Do you think it's the sort of thing you want to take on?
Oh, it'll be something different, isn't it? Or do you mean that perhaps I'm the wrong person to do it?
No, I just mean it's a lot to take on. Setting yourself up to advise other people on what they should and shouldn't do.
I'm not setting myself up.
Well, letting somebody else set you up then.
You think I should say no?
It's up to you. Still, she can be very persuasive, can't she?
Pam?
Yeah, at least that's the impression I get.
If I decide that I don't want to do it, then I'll tell her. You don't need to worry about that.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, no, I told her all right.
Told her she'd had her chips, eh?
I said chips to get it.
Yeah, I get it, yeah. Well, I hope it's all plain sailing now, Hilda.
Oh, I don't suppose she'll cause us any more bother. Any road, if she does try out, I shall just do what the solicitor said and persecute her.
Here's to a highly successful future.
Here.
Hey, can I book me haddock, mushy peas and chips? Hey, are you doing pickled onions?
Oh, yeah, we'll be doing everything.
Right, book me a pickled onion for the night I'm not caught.
Do you know, there should be health and safety regulations against the hoggies opening a chippy.
Well, there'll be a lot of work involved, won't there? I mean, all the ordering, the cooking.
There won't be any picnic. We'll get plenty of money, though.
Hey, be careful what you're saying.
Listen, I'm never careful what I'm saying.
Well, you've got to be in here, love. I only mentioned this morning that the hoggies might be coming to a bit of brass and I nearly got my head bitten off.
Pardon, Fred.
I didn't say a word, Mrs. Walker. Not a word.
Right, I'd better be getting home, kid. I mean, I can't stop in here all night, can I?
Your husband will be waiting for you, will he, Mrs. Duckworth?
No, he'll have gone out. If I thought he were waiting, I'd stop a bit longer. Anyway, I hope Lover Boy turns up all right.
I'm sure Victor won't be long, if that's what you mean.
Hey, well, don't do what I won't do.
I shouldn't think I will.
Right, ta-ra, love.
Ta-ra. Bye-bye.
Are you having another?
Oh, no, I mustn't, Rita, thank you.
Don't you trust yourself after 2 pineapple juices?
No, it's just that, I don't want to have to leave the room during class.
Oh. Oh, well, just another vodka then, Mrs. Walker. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, before Victor comes, there's something Len's got himself in a stew about.
What?
Well, I was telling him about you and Victor.
Oh, Rita!
Well, you'll find living with a fella's like that. You've got to have something to talk about while you're having your breakfast.
55p, please, dear.
Thank you. Anyhow, he seems to think that, well, you know, you might find it a bit difficult working in the cabin like you do and being stuck out in saddle work.
I suppose I could work different hours.
Not the way Len's thinking, love, no. According to him, job and flat go together. Lose one, you lose the other.
Evening, Mavis. Evening, Rita.
Oh, hello, love. Are you going to have a drink?
Well, thanks all the same, but I don't like to indulge just before a class.
Say no more, I understand.
We'll go across, shall we, then?
Why not? Get ourselves in the right frame of mind.
Have a nice time.
We will.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. So, tonight's the night, then?
Pardon?
I mean, Mavis is going to put the young man out of his misery.
I shouldn't think Victor's got much time for misery, Mrs. Walker. That's more Mavis's department.
Ah, hello. I'm a bit later than I expected. I hope I'm not interrupting anything.
No, sit down.
Thank you.
Oh, would you like a drink? Coffee or...?
Only if you're having one.
I'll put the kettle on.
Thanks, Val.
Well, did you manage to have a look at them?
Yes, I did. They were, well, a little more of a mixed bunch than I thought.
Oh, they're that all right. But I mean, you don't have to answer them all. In fact, we haven't got the space. So you could stick to the ones you feel happiest with.
I mean, I don't know anything about how to stop children being sick in cars.
Take them on a train. No, like I said, you can pick and choose the ones you want to deal with.
It's a bit of a responsibility, though, isn't it? Advising other folk on their problems.
Oh, you don't have to worry about the legal side. The paper's responsible for whatever we print. If anybody wanted to sue, it'd be me who'd get it in the neck, not Ken.
Yeah, I wasn't just thinking of that, though.
Look, why not just try it for a couple of weeks? A month. You can always pack it in.
Yeah.
Do you take sugar?
Yes, 2, please. It'll be right up your street. I know it will.
Well, I'm flattered, but I don't know why you should think that.
From talking to you, and from that other article you wrote for us. You'll be great. I know you will. Yes?
Okay. I suppose I can always give it a try, can't I?
You'll enjoy it. I twisted his arm and he said yes.
I thought he might, somehow.
I've just got us a little supper, Victor. Just a few sandwiches, nothing special.
Marvellous, Mavis. She'll go very nicely with Mr. Roberts' rosé.
Oh, I'll have to find a corkscrew.
Oh, don't worry. No problem. I never go anywhere without my Swiss Army penknife. And somewhere among all these devices for taking stones out of horses' hooves, there's one for taking corks out of bottles.
Oh, good. I'll just get us some glasses then.
Oh, good.
You know, my dad always used to carry a penknife. It's strange, isn't it, how they seem to have gone out of fashion? Oh, God. Well done.
You know, I never thought I'd say this, but my mind just wasn't on literature tonight.
No?
No. It was, well, it was on you, as a matter of fact.
Well, I must say I wasn't concentrating very well myself.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Well, have you had a chance to think about what I suggested?
I haven't been able to think about anything else.
Neither have I, and I'd still like you to say yes, Mavis. I really would.
Well, yes, so would I.
Well, then.
I mean, if I could. I mean, I would like to if I could, but I don't know whether I can.
Well, is there anything particular standing in your way?
Oh, well, I mean, there are one or two little things, like, well, it might be very difficult for me to keep my job on here. In fact, Mr. Fairclough seems to think it would be very difficult.
But I'm sure we can find an answer to that.
Oh, yes, I mean, I'm not saying that's what's stopping me. It's more...
Well, is it something to do with me?
Oh, no. I mean, you know, I'm very fond of you.
And you know I'm very fond of you.
Yes, I do. It's just the idea of living together in that cottage without being married. There, I've said it now.
But it's the modern way, Mavis. I mean, for a lot of people...
I know that, and I know it makes sense. I mean, why not? Well, it would give us a chance to get to know one another better, and then if things didn't work out, well, all right.
Yes.
I know all the arguments.
Well, then.
Well, it doesn't make any difference. It doesn't make me feel any more contented about it. I've tried to argue myself into saying yes, I have, honestly. Well, it may sound silly, but I've been doing it all day.
Mavis, wait.
What?
Don't say another word.
Why?
Look, I can see you've been worrying about this, and I don't want you to be worried. I mean, that's the last thing I want.
Oh.
So, don't say another word for now, and I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll go out to that cottage again.
But I've already seen the cottage.
But not as a future home, you haven't. I think that's an important difference, Mavis. I mean, I really do.
Oh, all right, if you think it'll help.
I think it'd help you to say yes, Mavis. That's what I think.
Oh, well.
You happy now?
Yeah. And thanks for escorting me home.
Anyway, I think it was 2 or 3 miles.
Oh, well, it's the principle, not the distance. You don't just let your wife walk home on her own.
Had no choice, did I?
Go on, then. Get back to your precious mate and carry on supping.
Right.
Hey, but listen, I'm having an early night, so don't the pair of you come thundering in like a herd of elephants.
We won't.
No. It's great to stay in a place, walking your baby back home.
Shut the door as I went out.
Oh, it's you, is it?
It is, yes.
Well, I'm...
You'll just wait another minute, Stanley, please, till we see what this lady's come for.
Oh, I'll tell you what I've come for. I've come to put records straight on 1 or 2 things.
Concerning what?
Concerning myself and your brother Archie. Happen it's something I should have mentioned earlier, but I didn't want to upset anybody, what with funeral and everything.
Well, go on then, spit it out now, dear.
Know what that is?
It's a ring, yeah.
It were given to me by your Archie, that were.
Did well then, didn't you?
You see, we were very close, me and Archie. Like I say, it wasn't something I wanted to make a song and dance about, what with him not being cold in his grave, but as things are now, you've given me no choice.
It's a ring on that thingy, you know, not a fish and chip shop.
I was his fiancée. We did plan to marry this year, and, not to put too fine a point on it, we were already cohabiting.
Oh, you were you?
Yes.
And where did all this cohabiting take place, might I ask?
In that flat, over the shop. So you see, I do have a very strong claim, Mrs. Ogden, that of a common law wife, I think you find it's called.
I've heard it called a lot of things.
And if you talk to your solicitor, I think you'll find that he'll tell you that that makes shop mine.
Get out. Go on, get out of this house.
Oh, I wasn't intending stopping. But just bear in mind what I've told you. I'm as entitled to that property as I would be if I'd been his fully fledged wife.
I said get out.
Get out. Go on, off it.
Oh, I'll get out of your house, all right. But not out of that shop.
Oh, Stan. Why is it always the same tale? Whenever our ship's coming in, there's always summat waiting to sink it.
For more information on what's going on Plus, Men and Motors or Granada Breeze, why not check out our websites at www.gsb.co.uk. After the break, Emmerdale.